Hello friends, welcome back to the Kumbi Jikku show on GK Sports India YouTube channel. After a long wait, India and Pakistan finally met on the cricket field. It was a question of will they play, won't they play, and finally India went to Colombo, played Pakistan and won convincingly by 61 runs. To discuss what happened at the Premadasa Stadium on Sunday night, the much-awaited India versus Pakistan, none other than K. Srinath, player turned umpire, and we will not waste much time. We'll go straight away to K. Srinath. Welcome, Sri. And how convincing was India's victory? And there is always this talk of the great rivalry, India versus Pakistan, but it is just India just made a damn squig of all this build-up, isn't it? 8-1, convincing victory. It was a no match in the end, wasn't it?
Absolutely. I think the hype created around the game, and as always, India plays Pakistan only in the ICC marquee events and in the Asia Cup. The build-up and whatnot. I think it's more to do with the fans, the sort of emotions that are attached when India-Pakistan play. As you mentioned, damn squib. I thought only one team turned out in the park tonight at Premadasa. I mean, it's a sad state of affairs, and I don't know as to when the Pakistan cricket team will start walking the talk. So much noise is being made about India needs to play the game in the right spirit and all that. Whatever is not required on the field of play. When it comes to what you need to do on the park, I think absolutely they just don't turn up at all. To be honest, the way India has played this format in the last 24 months, I think they look a side which is totally different from the rest of the world. I'm just not taking Pakistan as a side. It could be the West Indies, could be the Australians or the Englishmen or South Africa or New Zealand. I think India's brand of cricket is something different, and it's going to take a hell of a lot of beating from any of these sides to overcome India. So that's the way our boys are putting up the show on the park. It's a sad state of affairs. Pakistan cricket, I think, particularly in this format, I think they are light years behind India, and it's a big time catch up game for them from here on.
And among the other things, the build-up was on the bowling of Usman Tariq. He came in the 11th over, but then India sorted him out. Though Surya Kumar Yadav, after playing the way that he played, the pitch demanded him to play that way. Though he gave him a wicket, Usman Tariq was also sorted out, wasn't he? And Pakistan played 6 spinners, and only 2 overs came from their fast bowler Shaheen Shah Afridi.
They went in with a plan, and 6 runs per over in a T20 game is commendable. I think we need to credit the way Usman Tariq bowled, and he literally, had the Indians thinking as to what they had to opt for in the shot-making process. Having said that, in the bowling department, I think Sayyum Ayub looked good, picked up 2 wickets. What was baffling was when the skipper came on to bowl 2 overs in the power play and got a wicket and conceded only 16 runs. He never even bothered to come back and bowl in the middle overs. When Shaheen Shah Afridi went for 16 in the first, why on earth would you want him to come back off a pace where the Indian batters after the 10th over were not able to force the pace because the ball was not coming onto the bat? And the 20th over bowled by Shaheen Shah Afridi, I think India would have ended up around about 160 if Shaheen Shah Afridi had not bowled that last over. Yes. I think poor planning and tactically they were pretty poor, and even the execution. I think that showed in the end result, losing by 61 run in a marquee clash and in a T20 game. That's a whopping margin.
And the only thing that went right for Pakistan was calling it right at the toss of the coin. But did they get the decision right in bowling first?
Winning the toss doesn't make any difference. Toss is just a way to start a game saying which team decides to field or which team wants to bat first. They were more worried about so many other things, factors like rain coming in. They put up a show saying that DLS could come into a picture. When you win the toss, it's just not about looking at the skies. You need to look beneath as to what surface is available for you to play. in such a high pressure game, even if Pakistan had batted first and put up 140, 150, they would have put India under pressure. It wouldn't have been an easy score to chase down. Mind you, this was the same surface on which Australia played Zimbabwe a couple of days back when we saw the biggest upset in the World Cup. Australia winning the toss and deciding to chase. Very similar score of 175, and Australia fell short of it. I mean, when there are so many clues available in front of you, and there's so much data, so much footage available, why on earth would you walk in there and win the toss and say, we're going to bowl first? I mean, when Surya was at the toss, he said, yes, we also look to bat first and, make use of the conditions up front. I think winning the toss was only the right thing they did, but rest of it, nothing went their way. Their planning, their strategy, their execution, everything was all right.
Even though Abhishek Sharma came back into this match after missing the previous one, he fell in the first over. Ishan Kishan was playing at a different level, wasn't he? And the way he came back into the Indian T20 squad before the New Zealand series, he has been a different player and batted beautifully on demanding pitch conditions at Premadasa.
I think this is Ishan Kishan 2.0, what we are seeing now. In the last 6 months, he's rediscovered himself, the sort of run he's had in the domestic. In fact, he himself in an interview has said it's just not about physically getting better on his skill set, but even mentally, he's rediscovered himself. I think his 75 blew the game away from Pakistan side. In fact, there were memes and tweets going around saying that will Pakistan beat Ishan Kishan in this game? that was what was going around. I think his innings at the top set the tone for India. And yes, after the 10 overs, wherein the ball became a bit softer, it was that much difficult to score. But should give credit to Surya for hanging in there, getting in a 32. Though it was just at a strike rate of about 110, it was very valuable there. And those two late flourishes from Dubey and Rinku Singh, I think that put India on a very good pedestal. 175, as I said in the opener, it was worth its weight in gold. Anything 200 plus on any other ground because of the magnitude of the ground.
And no Pakistan batsman was capable of facing the Indian bowlers except for the other Usman, their wicketkeeper batsman Usman Khan. But even he was not threatening to take Pakistan to victory. But then he was just hanging around, and he was also in the end sent back to the pavilion. How good were our bowlers? 4 wickets shared by the medium pacers and the rest by the spinners.
To me, I was wondering at some point in time where Pakistan told that, there was going to be rain and they had to chase down the target in 10 overs. I think they were playing for a T10 result rather than a T20 game. I mean, you lose 4 wickets in the power play. And mind you, the sort of lengths the Indian bowlers bowled, faster bowlers, in comparison to what Shaheen Shah Afridi did. Shaheen Shah Afridi tried to pitch the ball up and extract swing. Whereas you saw the lengths which Hardik Pandya bowled. Over number 1, he gets a wicket, it's a maiden over. He was hitting the deck hard, extracting lateral movement. He was beating the batters for pace. That's the sort of adjustment you need to make. You spent a good 15 days in Sri Lanka. You played a home series against Australia on low, slow wickets. If you are not able to adapt well, in fact, in the presser before the game, I think Salman Aga said that, they're very well used to the conditions. It's going to be tougher for India to come and adjust here. India taking a long flight after the game in Delhi, they came in, it was like fish taking to water. I think this is the beauty of this current Indian side. They can adapt to any conditions. 0 for 1, 10 for 2, 15 for 3, like they were 77 for 6 against USA. If Pakistan were in that position against USA, they would have been bundled out for 100. The quality of this side, Surya put up his hand and got India to 170. From 1 to 8, you've got batters who can put up the hand on the given day and say, yes, we are there to bail the team out today. I think that's the quality of this side. And once the 4 wickets were blown away in the power play, Akshar picked up 2. Then you had Varun Chakravarti chipping in 2 wickets. And then Tilak Verma just came to roll his arm over, got a wicket of the first ball. I think the only bowler who didn't get a wicket was Rinku Singh. I mean, it shows the overall performance, the sort of clinical performance, the planning, the way they executed everything. I think India were, by leaps and bounds way ahead of this game, and they looked a team which played on a different pitch.
And certainly, this Indian team looks invincible. They have joined West Indies and South Africa in the Super 8s. Still, 5 more teams to join. What can we expect in the matches ahead? Because India still have a group league match against Netherlands in Ahmedabad on 18th, and Pakistan play Namibia. It's a given that Pakistan will qualify for Super 8, but beyond that, it's a question mark for them.
Well, it's a tricky thing because USA beat USA had a comfortable victory today in Chennai, and their net run rate has gone up. And if Pakistan loses to Namibia and their net run rate comes down, it could be the USA which could make it as the second team, ahead of them. So I think it's a very funny game, and you just can't write anything off. So, as we spoke earlier about the teams which could probably make the cut, and one of the favorites I was mentioning about Afghanistan. Just a couple of tactical errors has pushed them out of this tournament, which still has got UAE mathematically in picture. If UAE is going to beat Afghanistan tomorrow, they can hang back and sit on net run rate and say, do we have a chance to qualify? I think a lot of surprises have sprung up in this World Cup, especially the associate nations. Teams like Italy, USA has done really well. They've shown that they've got a lot of proven match winners in them. Just touch and go for Nepal, who started off well, and unfortunate that they couldn't sustain their consistent performance. But 3 teams into the Super 8s. I think New Zealand is another one which obviously would make it through. But what is interesting tomorrow is Australia's fate hangs in balance. Tomorrow's evening game that is going to happen in Palikele, which is the home for Sri Lanka. Again, they're going to play on pitches that are going to assist spinners in turn. Australia is struggling with fitness, with form of certain players like Maxwell, and it's going to be a real tight game, and it's going to be tough for Australia to pull it off. Maybe the next couple of days, which are going to be quite exciting, will draw maybe curtains to the teams that we could see in the Super 8s.
On that note, exciting cricket still left in this men's T20 World Cup. Looking ahead to that. Thank you very much, Ashway, for wonderful insights. And Pakistan versus India is done and dusted for at least now, unless something happens and they play in the semi-final stage, if it comes to that. Until then, take care, stay safe. Thank you, Sri. Bye-bye.
Thank you.